Hello everyone, it's Marcy, and I'm here with a quick flip through of my Halloween junk journal. It's really simple. I got it finished up and wanted to share it with you. So as you know, I uh, used a 9 by 12 envelope, covered it with some fabric that I had used my India ink on, and then this top piece is a printout from Artie Mae's Halloween Oddments. I'll leave a link to her Etsy shop below. So after I bound it, I covered it with a little bit of this black trim, added some embellishments that I had. I had this little skeleton key that I put on a hitch post closure. The hitch post closure keeps it closed. This is just a hairband that I've got an eyelet on. Added a couple of little leftover fabric tassel pieces and put the skeleton key on with a bit of baker's twine. Okay, so on the inside, this journal is 6 by 9. It's 58 pages. So here I've got this front pocket. These images, these postcard images, are from Dear Julie Julie's Halloween postcards. I will also leave a link to her Etsy shop below. So here I've got this embossed pocket, put the postcard on top of it. Here I've got a file card that has writing space on the back, just a little stamp decoration, paper, a little ribbon, baker's twine. And then this is the note card that I made. More embellishing. These are some slides I had left over. Just a little stamping and washi tape there. Here we've got a sort of a bottom tuck. This image is from I had a 1974 and a 1976 October Highlights magazine. So I took one of the images and just turned that into a little card because I thought it was cute. Here we've just got a little cluster with the zombie that says, "I love candy." Here I've got a belly band with another postcard in a smaller size. And here I just made a little, I collaged some papers down, stamped, embellishment, and a little bit of the burlap ribbon that I made. And I just made a little notebook out of it. So there's that. I'll retie the string afterwards. Here we've got a pocket. This is one of the postcards, but I overlaid it with some of the Halloween oddment paper that I printed on tracing paper. Just added a little lace and put my postcard stamp on the back of it. Got a little lace trim here. Here's a Halloween poem from an old Ideals magazine and some images from that same magazine. Here I've got a couple of flip-ups using the postcards and the little bows that I made on here. I actually used a baby wipe. This was a baby wipe I was using to wipe my hands and stuff on when I was coloring the fabric. And I just liked the way it came out, so I just took a little strip and wrapped a little baker's twine around it, made a little bow out of it, and that acts as the closure. On this side, we've got more poems from the Ideals magazine, and another one here. Move this over to be sure you can see it. Another one here. And here we've got some ledger paper with some stamping, another little cluster, and the library card that I made. And here we've just got a little tuck, and I stuck in a little ephemera from the Halloween Oddments. I did lots of stamping in this journal because that was most of the supplies that I had. Here we've got a little envelope that came from Halloween Oddments, and then I used one of my stamps and die cuts to cut out some little spiders going up to the web. And you've got a little open, I didn't put anything in it, I forgot, but little spot that you can tuck something. And that little spider just helps keep the envelope closed. And here, this flips open. And this is a page out of the Highlights magazine, Hidden Pictures, that I just put in because I thought it was cute. And here we've got a little corner tuck with a poem from the Highlights magazine and a stamped image that I had colored in. And used a index card for that. And here we've got another poem from the Highlights magazine, and I just kind of cut it apart and spread it across 2 pages. And this page is a form from Missouri Railroad, I forget but it was Missouri Railroad. Anyway, doesn't matter. Here I just used some of my stamped images and some of the Halloween Oddments ephemera, a little bit of lined paper and some washi tape. Here I just did a collage page with another poem from the Highlights magazine. I love reading these things. I used to love reading them when I was a kid, and I've left on all of them. I've left the person's name and age at the time and where they were from. So it's kind of a throwback. Here in the center of the signature, I've left my baker's twine strings. I had a couple of spider web charms that I tied on the end and used just a little bit of the leftover fabric just to make some little fabric strips. Here we've got another pocket with a little tag in it. And here we've got a little corner tuck with a postcard image in it and another little envelope that has some writing space on it, tucked away. And here we have yet another poem from the Ideals magazine. And here I printed, this is a fabric flip, but it's the other half of what I printed for this image. And so I just kept that, turned it into a fabric flip. And interestingly, when I was backing the images onto, when I printed on the fabric, I backed them onto a piece of scrap paper, and it just so happened that this image also happened to line up perfectly on the back side. So I thought, okay, great. I don't need to back it again. That just makes a perfect fabric flip. Just stamped a little boo under there. Here we've got a top tuck with another little cartoon from the Highlights magazine. one of my stamped images, the light bulb, and I just added a little pull string to it. And here's the other side of the ledger paper that has a pocket on it with just some items clustered up on it, and this little tag. And this was another Halloween image from the Ideals magazine I was using, carving a jack-o'-lantern. And it had a poem on this side, so I just washi taped it to this page, which gives you some great journaling space. And here we've got a little double pocket, a little piece of ephemera in there, and another one of the postcards from Dear Julie Julie, again topped with some of the tracing paper. And I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's really kind of neat because I can see the postcard image behind it, but very much muted. And if you can't see it, it is an outdoor scene with a cloudy sky and a full moon, kind of a spooky image, and this paper has bats on it. So I thought that worked really well over that. Okay, here we've got a little piece of the children's writing paper, and I just put some paper there, and it's a little flip out with journaling space. More images from the Ideals magazine. This was the other part of the page of this page. So I just turned it. It was the music paper from Dear Julie Julie's Halloween postcards there. So I just turned it into a little pocket. And here I've got a little matchbook style notepad with some writing papers in it. So that tucks right in there. And here we've got another little belly band with a card made from a Project Life card. And lots of journaling space on the back there. And here we've just got a little decorative cluster. And here I made a little bottom tuck, another collage page with a Highlights magazine poem on it. Excuse me, but I left the jack-o'-lanterns open as a little bottom tuck and tucked this little antique postcard into it. More journaling space. And the last of the skeletal x-rays that I have. And then in this back pocket, we've got another embossed folder with a kind of eerie looking postcard and this little envelope booklet that I made on video, flips open, with just some of the smaller postcard images tucked in, and a little bit of journaling space and a little postcard tucked in to the back. And that is my Halloween journal. I had so much fun making this. I think because I didn't have many Halloween things, and so I had to get kind of creative with it, which I don't know that it's the best journal I've ever made, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And I loved pulling out the stuff from the Highlights magazines and the Ideals magazines, and it just kind of took me back to what Halloween was for me as a kid. So it was a lot of fun. Anyway, please let me know what you think. I'd love to hear it. And until next time, Please be safe, stay healthy, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.